Hey guys, it's the Mayhem. So I'm going to do a little bit more research on MGTOW. It's a very wide topic with a lot of nuances and various streams of information. So today I'm going to start with the website MGTOW.com. I will post a link in the description for you so you can visit it yourself. And basically, I'm just going to read to you what I see on the site. My video editing skills are not very good yet, but I'm hoping to be able to actually video myself, going on websites and doing things like that. Uh, but I'm on the front page. I'm going to click on the About link on the top of the page, and I'm going to read to you what it says. MGTOW, Men Going Their Own Way, is a statement of self ownership where the modern man preserves and protects his own sovereignty. Above all else, it is the manifestation of one word, no, in quotations, injecting silly preconceptions and cultural definitions of what a man is, looking to no one else for social cues, refusing to bow, serve, and kneel for the opportunity to be treated like a disposable utility, and living according to his own best interest in a world which would rather he didn't. Sovereignty, noun, meaning supreme power or authority, autonomy, independence, self government, self rule, self determination, freedom, and self governing. So I'm going to click on the history of MGTOW. The history of MGTOW, men going their own way. Men have gone their own way for centuries. Welcome to version 2017. There are much chatter about when MGTOW originated online as a recent social phenomenon, but one would really have to pull the camera back way back to Schopenhauer, Tesla, Beethoven, Galileo, or even Jesus Christ if you were up to arguing that. MGTOW is not as old as fire, but it is as old as man's first discovery of it. Fire always exists, even when you can't see it, and it only takes a spark or a bolt of lightning to ignite a blaze. MGTOW could be regarded as a reaction to recent cultural shifts, but the exact phrase, men going their own way, can be found in print and newspaper clippings dating back to 1853 and spanning the 20th century. If MGTOW is fire, then perhaps feminism is gasoline. For every action has an equal and opposite reaction, Sir Isaac Newton's third law of motion. Survival and mating are the success model for animals in the wild. That's the best they will ever do. But marriage and children are not the highest pinnacle of success for men. Some 60% of men who ever lived on the earth never had children. So what did they dedicate their lives to? For millennia, men have accomplished and contributed far greater miracles of science, discovery, and human endeavor, and thanks to men like Orville and Wilbur Wright, man is the only mammal that can't fly, that can fly. Man is also the only species that has the capability of deflecting an extinction level event. So I'm going to click on the sections links. Okay, so it has like videos, channels, audios, posters, quotes, books, testimonials, etc. So basically, this is making the claim that MGTOW is a very old thing. It's been around a long time. However, and they're also making the argument that this is not a recent phenomenon. But if I understand this correctly, current social shifts have kind of brought this back up to light. MGTOW seems to be making an argument about marriage. Marriage is not a great idea. It doesn't measure success of the man. And basically, it's making the claim that people like Tesla, Beethoven, and Galileo, and even Jesus Christ, uh, they went their own way. The difference, though, is that they didn't go around saying to everybody, "Hey, I'm MGTOW. Hey, I'm MGTOW. Hashtag MGTOW." I mean, you can argue that these people did those things, but they didn't declare it. They didn't draw a line in the sand. I'm going my own way. If you're going to go your own way, why go out of your way to tell everybody? It seems like you're purposely trying to alienate yourself or cause some kind of rift or some kind of open disagreement or open discourse with people. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't tell people you're doing this movement. What I'm saying is, why? What's the purpose of it other than to cause confrontation and conflict? Now, I will admit there are some things that women do to men that are not right. But we also men do things to women that aren't right. So it's not just a matter of, well, we just need to stop talking to women. Again, that just seems extremely passive aggressive to me. Um, and I just don't see how that could ever be productive. Now, if focusing on your own goals in your own life is something that you want to do, nobody would ever have an issue with that. What people have an issue with is you slapping a title on it, MGTOW. Uh, you declaring to everyone in the world that you are MGTOW, and basically you are part of this online movement. Um, the reason that I don't agree with this movement is because it doesn't really seem to have any solutions in mind. It just seems to be, well, we're going to do this and we don't care what you think. It doesn't really provide any actual answers for any problems. It just seems to be this position that you have, and you just adopt this position, and that's it. Uh, my problem with this movement, and the reason that I will not be partaking in this, is because I love women. And though women have frustrated me and even angered me, a lot of these problems can be resolved. A a point that was brought up to me is that, women can rape men and nobody will take it seriously. Um, that is a horrible crime. There's really nothing I can say that would make that any better. There's really nothing I can say that would justify that, or even me diminishing the act of a sex act on a man by a woman. The thing is, though, these crimes should be reported to the police. And if you find that the police or the judicial system or the correction system is not doing enough, then what we need to do, instead of going our own way, is changing policy, changing laws. Uh, Men are control of the government. Though we make laws that sometimes that are at our detriment for the sake of equality, uh, we control the government, and most people in government are males. And so, if we're finding a problem with females, sexually assaulting males, and it's not getting reported or it's not being taken seriously, I challenge these men going their own way to change policy, to change laws, to change legislature, to make sure that women who do these things, who commit these crimes, are held accountable. I find that that is a lot more productive than just going your own way and not having relationships with women. I think we can still have relationships with women, but people need to just be held accountable. I think we also need to be taking these things more seriously, but that's more of a social education. That's going to take a long time. As far as the alimony argument goes, it was brought up to me in a comment that the prenuptial agreements don't work. Well, if that is your concern, then don't get married. I mean, that's the best thing I can tell you. Or maybe the institution of marriage should be reevaluated. Maybe alimony is not a good idea. Fight to change that. Fight to change the fact that if you're with a woman and you both divorce, and she takes a lot of your money with her for basically just being married to you for a little bit, um, fight to change that. Run for office. Bring it up to your town halls. Bring it up to your representatives and congressmen and senators, state senators and federal senators and House representatives. Change can happen. Social change can happen, but you have to be proactive and you have to be willing to fight for these changes. Going your own way and just saying, well, I'm just not going to deal with women anymore. Passive aggressive, not helpful, not productive. Now, if those things are your concern, crimes being committed against men and wrongs being committed against men, and nobody takes it seriously, then that, to me, you need to work on that yourself. You need to fight for social change. You need to be able to articulate that and work against these things. However, if you just want to focus on your art or maybe your music or your career or maybe a hobby or maybe it's bodybuilding, maybe it's some kind of thing that you really, really care about without the distractions of a relationship with women, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. I don't think anybody would object to that. I think focusing on yourself it's a very healthy thing to do. But stamping MGTOW on your forehead, to me, that's not productive. To me, that's just not solving any problems. If anything, you're creating more problems and you're creating more of a rift. And again, guys, I do understand. I do get it. Women do commit crimes and do wrongs to men quite a bit. But it's not a one-way street. Men also wrong women. It's not all one-sided. That's all I'm saying, guys. So I've actually done a little research today. I went on the actual MGTOW website. I will post a link in the description. You can check it out for yourself. But my opinion still stays the same. Now knowing what I know now, the movement is a lot more complicated than I previously thought. However, my opinion of it is still the same. It's not something you need to do to have a good life. It's definitely an option if this suits you, but for the most part, I don't think we need MGTOW to live long, prosperous lives. You just need to be careful who you're talking to, who you're dealing with, who you're dating, who you're marrying. And you need to report crimes. And if these crimes aren't being handled the way that you would like them to be handled, then you need to fight for social change. So, guys, this is the Mayhem once again. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.